Hey folks, this is Matt Rainwater, and today we're gonna do the colors here for Jimmy the Goblin. I've been so I think I'm gonna need to get. I mean, I know that this was true from the very beginning, but I didn't want to admit it, which is that I need to get a new audio setup because I've been just checking basically audio from previous recordings. And something that is annoying me is that you can hear me breathing, and I don't know, I don't really like it. um, no, I mean, how else can you put that? I just don't. I'm not. I mean, you could probably hear that. You probably heard that. I'm sure. And I don't know. I want it to go away. But I feel like the only way I'm going to be able to do that is with a different setup for, my mic. Because like what I'm using is this headset. It's like a headset with a microphone attached. And the microphone's a good quality. However, like I said, it's one of those things where it doesn't. I don't think it has like the kind of bells and whistles that will like filter out certain noises. And I think I'm making a lot of assumptions here, but I believe, don't know, but I'm of the opinion that other microphones have this capability to filter out such things. We're going on a lot here. Anyway, that's a search that's going to begin in the future, not right now, obviously. Right now, I'm going to focus on coloring Jimmy here. But I'm having a. Here we go. That's a better brush. And I need to figure out here with Jimmy, like, what kind of color goblin is he going to be? It's not an easy thing to figure out, clearly. Not to mention this brush. Oh, it didn't multiply. I need something that's more. Not that. How about just normal? Not really. What if I turn it to. No? That's definitely not it. Alright. Turn down the texture density. I'm just trying to get a watercolor look. It doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be perfect. I'm just trying out some new things. Trying to do more with less, and that's something actually I really like about watercolors. You can create some pretty nice effects very easily. It does require a certain amount of you know tact. Watercolor is a bit of a testy medium, in digital watercolor even more so for some reason. I can't quite wrap my head around it. That you'd think that that wouldn't be the case, but I like this. I like how this is turning out. This is pretty cool. I can kind of create some lighting effects very easily without doing a whole lot. So I think this works like a yellowish. When I think of goblins, I do think of them as sort of a more yellowish kind of color. Because I don't know if I said this last episode, but I kind of thought of this character as appearing in whatever story I would do if I do a story with Joe the Ogre, and we'll see. I'm not like I said. Look, right now, you could blame it on Mercury retrograde. You could blame it on whatever you want, but right now, I am a little bit I'm a little bit in this mode, this sort of chaotic creative mode where I keep having like all these ideas pop up, and I'm like, oh, that's a really good idea. I should do that. That should be, where I focus on my creative effort or whatever, and just keeps changing. Um, it's very frustrating to me because it's like I said, last time I called it writer's torrent, which is just like this idea that you just have so many ideas coming up all at once. And you're trying to grab all of them all at once, and it's like you can't. You're not going to be able to hold on to all of them. But that's what's going on for me right now. Is like the floodgates have opened, and I'm just like, oh my God, there's an idea, there's an idea, there's an idea. Um, all while I'm also still finishing Trailer Park Warlock. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a fun place to be. It's fun. I like it, right? This is where you want to be as an artist. Um, but when your resources are a little bit limited, you have to be a little bit more choosy about how you employ what ideas are worth the time, right? Some ideas are not, some ideas are going to be dead ends. Um, I have plenty of experience with ideas that ended up being dead ends, and you can never, I don't know, it's very hard to know which ones are going to be the things that really have some kind of legs to them that take off. You just got to try stuff. And so sometimes the most pertinent way of engaging with that is to try and be not non-committal. You want to be able to commit to your ideas. It's more like you want to engage with them in such a way that if you need to leave an idea, you're not gonna leave feeling sour at the end of the day. That's all I'm saying. And so, easier said than done, right? But that's why it's sort of a good idea, and this is something I think a lot of people give as advice, and I think it's pretty good advice. This is why I think it's a good idea to what was I about to say? I was about to say to set. Okay, I've lost the thought. I'll come back to it in just a moment. If you have an idea that you like, set a very firm boundary for yourself as to when the idea is completed, and make that time limit shorter than longer. There we go. Make it shorter than longer. Err on the side of shorter so that you can be, like, let's say you have an idea for a graphic novel series, right? And you're like, oh, I'm gonna release it on Webtoon, and it's gonna be 100-episode story. I'm gonna release one every week. All right, okay. Maybe the idea for your story is really good. Maybe it's an awesome story idea. But maybe 100 episodes is too much. Maybe pare it back by a half, and you say, okay, at 50 episodes, I'm done. Or maybe let's say 52. You say, oh, okay, I'll do one episode a week. There's 52 weeks in a year, right? So I'll do 52 episodes. And at the end of that 52nd episode, the story's completed. Unless, for some reason, it really takes off. Maybe it takes off, and you're like, oh my gosh, I have fans, I have an audience, I have people who are supporting my Patreon to such an extent that I could do this for a lot longer than I expected. Then great. Then you can change course, right? And, go from there. But you don't know, right? You don't know what to expect. You don't know what people are going to think about what you have, what you release into the world. You don't know if they're going to like it. There's a lot of unknowns when you're making stuff. And so I think as a way to sort of mitigate with the potential harm's a strong word, but like to save yourself a lot of stress, right? So because the reason I say all this is it is a bummer, like one of the greatest bummers in life, to really love a project you're working on, but it's gaining no traction, and you're like 700 pages in, and you're like, oh, one of these days, maybe it'll still take off. And that horizon has not shown up. You know what I mean? That island on the horizon you're looking for, it hasn't appeared. And it seems like every other day you start to, and this is what I'm describing right now is burnout. You start to go, oh, it's not, that island's not showing up, is it? This becomes more and more apparent to you each and every day. Oh, this is how it's going to be if I keep doing this. Should I just finish this? I'm 700 pages in. I intended this to be a one-piece size, million-page extravaganza adventure story that was just going to go on and on and on till the day I die. But because I spent so much time working on this, I haven't really been making enough money to support myself. I never get to see my friends and family. I'm lonely. I'm depressed. But I do love this project. Look, if that is this, you don't want to be in that situation. I'm just telling you right now, you don't want to be in that situation. Don't get in it. And the best way to stay out of it is from the very beginning, start with good legs on your project and have a firm stopping point with yourself. A firm point at which you can say, okay, this project has to be done. Not because I have to quit for any particular reason, other than that the story is done. Make stories that you're going to finish. Or not just stories, projects. Whether it's a music album, whether it's, I don't know, a painting, sculpture, whatever. Make projects that you're going to finish so that you can be proud of the finished project. You can have that under your belt. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with short stories. Some of my favorite TV series are limited series. In other words, like one of my favorite anime of all time, the original Fully Cooley. I haven't actually watched the new ones. I should check them out. But the original Fully Cooley. I can't even remember. It's either 6 episodes or 13 episodes. I think it's only 6 episodes long. Shows you how long it's been since I've watched it. Yeah, it's like only 6 episodes long, but it's great. It doesn't need to be any longer than that. It really doesn't. In fact, it would probably suck if it went any longer, quite frankly. Because Gainax tends to make projects where they bite off more than they can chew. They get very ambitious, which I relate to. And, they end up having to do stuff to save space on budgetary issues. One of my favorite examples of this, by the way, Gainax did an anime called His and Her Circumstances. And I'm not usually into romance stuff, but it is like really good. It's an incredible little story. And towards the end of the series, they had an episode where, due to budgetary constraints, they basically did all the animation as like little cutout paper puppets, and they were very. And maybe it was just a joke. Maybe that really wasn't the case, but they were just very blunt about, yeah, due to budgetary constraints, we're going to do this episode like this. Sorry, y'all. It was a great episode, though. It still worked. Like, and that's just, that signals to me how clever and interesting a studio Gynax is, or was at least at the time. I don't. That was I believe that was Hideaki Anno who did Evangelion and a bunch of other stuff that I enjoy. Anno's a weird one though. Anyway, I can't remember why I was talking about that with y'all. I think basically what I was trying to tell y'all is I think I want to see people make stories. Because I like to make stories. Or not just stories, I like to see people make art. And I've actually been having this thing lately where I'm kind of like regretting having chosen to put so much effort into learning how to do illustration and drawing and all this stuff. Because I see musicians and I'm like, oh gosh. they they spend probably as much time as I do on crafting a song together, right? But the amount of in terms of their reward is so much more immediate, at least it seems to me, because you can just show up at a coffee shop and you can sing like 2 or 3 songs, right? Maybe that's like 15 minutes and you get all this applause, and then it's like, oh, I'm good for a little bit. Whereas oftentimes if you're a cartoonist, you may spend a year to 5 months working on something that nobody sees. And you're just like, I really hope people appreciate this thing I'm making. I don't know. And you're just, winging a prayer. I think the gratification for musicians oftentimes, at least from the outside, appears more instantaneous, or the feedback, I would say. Not even just gratification, just feedback is considerably more instantaneous than, you know, being an illustrator. And I don't know. I mean, what else is there to say about that? I'm not going to sit here and resent musicians for their choice. They made a good choice. All right, I'm going to do. I don't even know if this looks good. I want to look at this real. Oh, man. What have I done? Sorry if the screen is all goofed. I'm just trying to look at something real quick. Has it been this goofed the whole time? No. He's a little. He's pretty yellow. I'm trying to figure out if he's too yellow. I don't think so. Sorry, y'all. I'm gonna fix this real quick. Alright, I need to finish this up. I just feel like there's something else I want to do here. In terms of. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the airbrush tool. Add a little bit of like a brown. Just kind of temper that yellow a little bit. Just a tiny, tiny bit. It's not as intense. I'm going to go in here. A little bit of red to the gloves. Like so. But anyway, y'all. Thanks for listening to me sort of express my own self-doubt. It can be hard sometimes. I don't know how else to put that. It really can, though. It's not the easiest thing in the world. Being an illustrator. But I do enjoy it. I enjoy the hell out of it. It's really fun to do. I have a lot of fun learning. I have a lot of fern. I have a lot of fun making these illustrations. I love making Trailer Park Warlock. It's so much fun. It's also intense. Anyway, I'm gonna save this. We are done with Jimmy. Yes, I do want what? Oh, okay. Forgot that I already had Jimmy open. All right, let's try that one more time. Yes. Yes. Okay, folks. Hey, if y'all are enjoying, which I imagine y'all are, but maybe you aren't, maybe you're not. But if you are enjoying these videos, if you've been watching all the way through, I want to leave you all with something for just a moment. Imagine, if you will, that I could 100% do videos like this, make comics full time. That sounds pretty awesome, right? Y'all can help me get to that place by going over to my Patreon and check out the tiers over there. Now, I'm sure, you'll find something you like, but if you don't, that's okay. But if you can kick me $1, that helps me a ton. If I can get 1,000 people, 5,000 people, whoever, to give me $1, that puts me one step further to financial independence as an artist. And I can make more of these videos. I can do more of this stuff for y'all. And we can all have more fun, right? Anyway, that link to the Patreon is at the description at the bottom of the, where the description is. Along with the Mancers Union Discord. I highly recommend y'all check out the Mancers Union Discord. I frequently do streams on the weekends where y'all can see me work and can talk personally through voice chat. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to do that if more and more people sort of enter the voice chat room. So now is a great time to hang out because it's still, it's usually like 1 to 4 people max. But it's changing all the time. Anyway, that's all I want to leave y'all with, and I hope y'all have a good day. We will talk again soon, and y'all have a good one, all right? Bye.